that? Is that working better? Okay, but we're discussing Casey Anthony, and poor Kaylee, who was a 2-year-old, who was with her mother, Casey Marie Anthony, and her maternal grandparents, George and Cindy. On July 15, 2008, she reported missing in a 911 call made by Cindy. All right, whoo. Who said she had not seen Kaylee for 31 days, okay? And Casey's car smelled like a dead body had been inside it. Okay, also Cindy said Casey had given, several explanations as to Kaylee's whereabouts before finally telling her she had not seen Kaylee for weeks. Come on, you don't know your child is, you're not going to report your child missing for 2 weeks at least? Come on. She lied to detectives, telling them Kaylee had been kidnapped by a nanny on June 9th, and she had been trying to find her, too frightened to alert the authorities. She was charged with first-degree murder, October 2008, and of course, pled not guilty. On December 11, 2008, Kaylee's skeletal remains were found with a blanket inside a trash bag in a wooded area near the family home. I'm getting to that, Lori. Hang on. Okay, I'm just reading the opening statements. Relax. I'm getting to it. Okay. Anyway, her remains were found inside a trash bag in a wood area near the home. The reports and trial testimony alternated between duct tape being found near the front of the skull and on the mouth of the skull. The medical examiner mentioned duct tape as one reason she ruled the death a homicide, but officially listed it as death by undetermined means. Okay, the trial lasted 6 weeks from May to July 2011. And of course, the prosecution sought the death penalty and alleged Casey wished to be free herself from her responsibilities and murdered her daughter by administering chloroform and applying the duct tape. The defense team, led by Jose Baez, countered that the child had drowned accidentally. Hi, Ike, how are you? Glad you're here. Yeah, that she had died accidentally in the swimming pool on June 16th. And George Anthony, her father of Casey, disposed of the body. And the defense contended that Casey lied about this and other issues because of a dysfunctional upbringing. And here we go back again to the defendant, claiming, molestation as she was growing up. Come on. Her parents did a lot for her. And I thought that was just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. I mean, her father had to be so hurt by that. The defense did not present evidence as to how Kaylee died, nor evidence that Casey was sexually abused as a child, which was crap, I think. My opinion now. But they challenged every piece of the prosecution's evidence, calling it, much of it, fantasy forensics. Yeah, you got that right, Chris. KBLO, new channel, huh? Okay. Okay. Casey did not testify on July 5th. The jury found Casey not guilty of first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and aggravated manslaughter of a child, but guilty of 4 misdemeanor counts. False information to a law enforcement officer. And with credit for time served, she was released on July 17, 2011. A Florida appeals court overturned 2 of the misdemeanor convictions on January 2013. And of course, the not guilty verdict was met with public outrage. Are you kidding me? It was ridiculous. How could you not miss your child for a month and a day? Yeah, she is unbelievable. How could people on the jury be that stupid? And was attacked and defended by media and legal commentators. Of course, they all have their... Yes, this is a true case. Yes, Casey Anthony. Yeah, it is. Yeah, book. It's been all over. Excuse me. Some complain that the jury did not understand the meaning of reasonable doubt. You think? while others said the prosecution relied too heavily on the defendant's allegedly poor moral character because they had been unable to show how the victim had died. And Time magazine called it the social media trial of the century. According to George Anthony, Casey's father, Casey left the home on June 16, 2008, taking her daughter Kaylee with her and did not return for 31 days. Casey's mother, Cindy, kept asking her to see Kaylee, but Casey claimed she was too busy with a work assignment in Tampa. At other times, she said Kaylee was with a nanny, and she identified her as Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez, or at theme parks or the beach, and it was eventually determined that a woman named Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez did exist, but she had never met Kaylee, or any member of the family. On July 13, 2008, while doing yard work, Cindy and George found a notice from the post office for a certified letter on their door. George Anthony picked up the letter from the post office and found out that his daughter's car was in a tow yard. When George picked up the car, both he and the tow yard attendant noticed a strong smell coming from the trunk. Both later stated they believed the odor to be that of a decomposing body. When the trunk was opened, it contained a bag of trash, but no human remains. I think, automatically you think, okay, she was found in a trash bag in her blanket. Really? I don't get it. I think it was pretty obvious what had happened. And Cindy reported Kaylee missing on July 15th to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. During the same telephone call, Casey Anthony confirmed to the 911 operator that Kaylee had been missing for 31 days. Seriously. 31 days and you don't report your child missing. And I remember the pictures and everything of her partying out with her friends. She was having a good old time. She didn't care. She wasn't out looking for her daughter because she already knew she was dead. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion, and I really think that's exactly what happened. Cindy was really distraught and said, "Something's wrong. I found my daughter's car today. It smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car," quote unquote, okay? Crazy, crazy, crazy. I think it stands to reason if there's a trash bag in there, had to be another one. Just my opinion. There were pictures of her partying and all kinds of fun stuff. She didn't care. That start, I believe. Start of what? Okay. I don't know what you mean, Lori. Okay. Anyway, I mean, she was just having a good old time. So come on. And when Detective Yuri Melich with the Sheriff's Department began investigating Kaylee Anthony's disappearance, he found discrepancies in Casey's statement. No kidding. What a surprise. When questioned, Casey said Kaylee had been kidnapped. Who also, she identified this Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez as a nanny, but she wasn't. Casey told police she was working at Universal Studios, a lie she had been telling her parents for years. Investigators brought Casey to Universal Studios on July 16, 2008, the day after Kaylee was reported missing, and asked her to show them her office. She led police around before admitting she had been fired years before. Oh, come on. Really? And she just gets charged with lying to the police? Are you kidding? Yeah, thank you, Lori. That's that, I believe. I probably would have deciphered it eventually. Thank you, honey. Hi, Valerie. Thank you for joining us. And we're talking about Casey Anthony, the person who got away with murdering her child. Yeah, that's my opinion. Some people may not think so. But I do. That's just me. I mean, come on. She didn't report her child missing for 31 days. What does that tell you? And then she lied about where she worked and what she'd been doing. She'd been doing this for years. I think it's chronic. She was first arrested on July 16th and was charged the following day with giving false statements to law enforcement, child neglect, obstruction of a criminal investigation. The judge denied bail, saying Casey had shown woeful disregard for the welfare of her child. The judge set bail at $500,000. On August 21st, 2008, after 1 month in jail, she was released by bond posted by the nephew of California bail bondsman Leonard Padilla, in hopes she would cooperate and Kaylee would be found. On August 11th, 12th, and 13th, 2008, meter reader Roy Kronk called police about a suspicious object found in a forest area near the Anthony residence. In the first instance, he was directed by the sheriff's office to call the tip line, which he did, received no return call. He called again. And eventually was met by two officers and reported to them that he had seen what appeared to be a skull near the gray bag. On that occasion, the officer conducted a short search, say that 10 times, short search, and stated he did not see anything. Okay. On December 11th, Kronk again called the police. They searched and found the remains of a child in a trash bag. Investigative teams recovered duct tape, which was hanging from Kaylee's hair, and tissue left on her skull. Over the next 4 days, more bones were found in the area near the spot where the remains had been discovered. On December 19th, the medical examiner confirmed that the remains found were those of Kaylee Anthony. It was ruled a homicide and cause of death undetermined. Yeah, she absolutely was. Okay. Thanks, Ike. Don't work too hard, okay? We'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Yeah. There were pictures that her friend sent, I think, to the police and to her parents, that she was out partying all this time and just having a good old time. Are you kidding me? Obviously, she didn't want the responsibilities. That was quite obvious. Casey was offered a limited immunity deal on July 29th by prosecutors related to the false statements. She did not take it. On September 5th, she was released again on bail on all pending charges. Of course, she was fitted with an ankle bracelet. Yeah, fashionista there. And her $500,000 bond was posted by her parents, who signed a promissory note for the bond. They bailed her out, and yet she still claimed that her father had sexually abused her. Here we go again. No, I don't think so. And to do that to your father, after all they've done for you. On October 14th, 2008, Casey Anthony was indicted